You know what else starts with V? Volcanoes. There is a picture of a volcano. Today we have a book whose author is Martha Rustad. Now, this book I want you to think about, is it fiction or non-fiction? So could this story be made up or have pretend characters? Or is it real? Did it really happen? So is it fiction, not real, or non-fiction, which means it's real? All right, volcanoes. We're going to see lots of cool pictures of volcanoes. What is a volcano? A volcano is a hill or mountain with a hole at the top called a crater. Right there. Gases and ash rise into the air when a volcano erupts. Melted rocks blast and pour out through the crater. Okay, so down here is below the ground. And when we get deep down into the ground, it's very, very hot, all the way underground, a long way under. It's very hot. And sometimes that heat keeps building up, building up, building up until it gets way too hot. And then up it comes out through the volcano. It's that melted rock that's at the bottom. Now when it's down here, that hot melted rock, it's called magma. Listen to that word again, magma. Can you say that? That very hot melted rock down way below the surface of the earth is called magma. And when it gets too hot, or the earth below starts to move a little bit, it pushes that magma up through the crater. And when it comes out, it can come out as hot lava. I bet you've heard that word before, lava. That's magma. Magma, when it comes out, it's now called lava. And then it creates this big cloud of smoke that has ash in it. Do you remember what ash is? Ashes, like we had on our head. It's all that burned material up in the sky. All right, there's lots of different kinds of volcanoes that have different shapes to them. There's even a volcano on Mars. And some volcanoes are in water or underwater. Eruptions, that's what we call it. When a volcano explodes, it's called an eruption. All volcanic eruptions are not the same. Some eruptions are violent explosions. Ash, lava, and steam burst out. The eruption might be over in a few minutes or a few hours, or might last many days. Other times, lava flows slowly from volcanoes. Waves of molten rock flow for days or even months. That molten rock, that's what we call that. That's what that lava is made up of, hot, melted rock. And we know that volcanoes can be very dangerous. Sometimes it destroys people and places. Sometimes volcano happens under the ocean, and then it creates a great big wave in the water that's called a tsunami. Sometimes volcanoes happen under the snow. And what happens when a volcano erupts under the snow? It causes an avalanche, and an avalanche is where all the snow is pushed down really, really fast. But volcanoes can also help. Volcanoes provide land around it. The land around a volcano has very rich soil. The ash that comes out of a volcano actually has lots of vitamins in it. And so the soil is very rich, so it's good for growing. Some of that lava cools and it turns dark, and it actually creates new places of land. Hawaii is made up of many, many islands, and all of those islands were created from a volcano, from the lava that cooled, and then it created land that wasn't once there. And sometimes volcanoes sleep or rest. That's called a dormant volcano. That means it hasn't erupted in a very long time. Sometimes they don't erupt for hundreds or thousands of years. And then it just looks like a great big hill. So volcanoes are very interesting. Do we have to worry about volcanoes here where we live? No, we don't. Volcanoes usually are somewhere near an ocean. There's a lot of volcanoes around the Pacific Ocean. Do we live by an ocean? No. We have lakes by us, but no oceans. So we don't have to worry about volcanoes. Now, do you think this story was fiction or non-fiction? Fiction. Was it a pretend story? Or non-fiction? Was it a real story? Was it about things that actually do happen? You got it. It was non-fiction. It was about something that actually happens. Good work.